Well, I'm excited about today's topic, Judy. Infohio has got so many resources, and now we know that there are a whole group of them, a bunch of them, that are going to be around for at least 5 years, and that's some really exciting news. Do you want to share us a little bit about Infohio for those who don't know what it is, and we can talk about these wonderful resources and also other things that are coming with Infohio, looking for more people in school districts to become coaches, to become experts in all of these fantastic online resources.
Yes, I'm excited to be able to share it with as many people as I can, because there's still those out there, teachers, parents, administrators, that really have not taken the time to learn what a great resource we have in Ohio. In fact, in talking with teachers from other states, they're going like, how did you get something so cool? What was and I always point them to you or something to give you more of the background, since you're on the advisory board now. And so that is exciting to be able to share some new information about these resources that we know are going to be there for 5 years, because sometimes that's an issue. People think, oh, is it going to be around next year for any kind of project? Is this going to be a waste of my time to incorporate these resources into my lessons and then not have it be available after 1 year? So we do have a new group of resources. Actually, some are existing resources on Infohio, but we know that they're going to be there for a minimum of 5 years.
So let's take a look at some of these and share the specific titles. And as you say, many of them, most of them are ones that are the most loved, most used, especially in the elementary grades. Let's take a look at what some of these are.
Okay, so this is an update. What we're going to show you for 5 years, guaranteed, are ones that some of them are already on Infohio, and I'll mention that, and some are new ones that I'm not that familiar with, so I'm going to be learning as well. This is what Infohio's homepage now looks like. It's been a few changes over the years, but this is easier for everybody to get to the resources that are best for their grade band, or if they're an educator or a parent. Let's talk about the first one, World Book. World Book is already a resource that has been on Infohio for many years, but a lot of people don't understand that, or don't know that they have ones for other languages as well, for students that English isn't their first language, for language education classes. There's different levels. Obviously, it goes there on the screen. You can see early learning is the one for pre-readers, then kids, students, and advanced is for advanced middle school or high school students. And then timelines is something that I promote. Teachers all the time are having students do timelines, different history facts or literature, whatever. And World Book Timelines is an awesome resource for that. So that's the first one I'm going to mention for 5 years. We know we have it through 2008. EBSCO is a resource.
And I will mention, Judy, they have some foreign language resources for students whose first language is not English. So that can really help out in some transition and reading development as well. So go ahead. EBSCO, another incredible set of resources.
Exactly. And notice that there are some very specific resources here on home improvement, hobbies and crafts, resources for educators. I know I used EBSCO when I was working on master's degree courses. I pulled from this collection you see over on the right-hand side, professional development collection. I found it very, very useful to find those curated articles that would relate to whatever topic I was using. And notice they also have ERIC on the left-hand side. And if anybody's a college student, they know, they've heard of the ERIC. And I never really understood what it stood for, Education Resource Information Center, but always go to ERIC. They've got good stuff. So
and this entire resource collection, Judy, I just got to throw out, I mean, it's obvious, but it's worth saying, and it's worth sharing with students and parents and others within your district, that, how do I know something's true? How do I know it's real? Because, a lot of times when we do online research, we get good information, but sometimes we don't. I mean, this is very solid referenced information in these resources.
Exactly. And that's one thing I think most teachers understand. But again, even when I want some information, I Google it or whatever. But when you really know it has to be solid information, that's why I promote them to tell their students about Infohio, as this is the place you go first for your work for school, because it is, I mean, there's no ads or anything like that on any of the EBSCO or the World Book resources, not ever. So, and the next one, which is one that we've had it a couple years, but I think that it has really hit a target audience that likes to do their own repairs or service or just know more about their particular vehicle. It's a Chilton Library from Gale, which is a real reliable company. And I'm just hoping that all the career centers that have the auto coursework know about this resource. And I'm sure they do, but if they don't, we need to get that information out to the career centers as well.
It's something, Judy, that the career centers, as well as high schools, may not be aware of, is the test prep to become ASE certified. So it can be a path to graduation that's extremely appropriate for some students. And there's some really good materials. Yeah, how do you fix your car and other vehicles, but also how do you get ready to be certified within that skill area? And if you're going to be looking at a career in automobile repair and related fields, you want to be ASE certified. And here's free resources that are the exact same materials and the type of materials that you can pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars to take a course in, and they're here free.
Exactly. And I'm just hoping that all the career centers know about this and aren't paying for this separately, because they are not aware that it's available free of charge on the Infohio, through the Infohio website, because I'm sure that schools that or states that don't have Infohio might be purchasing this. And I'm just hoping that our Ohio career centers are not purchasing it, not being aware that it is now available. And I think it's been 2 or 3 years we've had it in the Infohio list of resources for high school, the 9 through 12.
Yeah.
And the next one that is from a very reliable the Oxford University Press has been around for a long time, and I need to go in and introduce myself to the very short introductions to learn more about that. But the Oxford Research Encyclopedias, again, very, very reliable resources you're going to find in these two resources, which we now have for 5 years. And the last one that I know for 5 years is called ProQuest Culturegrams.
Yes.
And it's going to be great for those schools that have courses about cultural information, history, even literature, ELA courses. And this is one that I have not been able to get into because we get it July 1st. So that's when I'll start diving in to learn more about it. Roger, have you had any experience with, or Tonya?
Yeah, and just to share a couple of examples within that particular genre of information, I was working with a group of teachers. Basically, we were talking about, can you trust online resources? And the student turned in a research paper that talked about how slavery was what was really supporting and driving the economy of India. Well, India doesn't have slavery, hasn't for, I don't know, many, many years. I think it's like hundreds of years before that was routinely practiced. But yet they'd found a resource that said that was what was driving their economy. And obviously it's not. It's what's going on in India with technology and some very advanced, very high skilled people that work there. So the resource that the student had found was just plain outdated. And so this is a place to go to get pretty current information. And again, very accurate, very solid information on just what are the cultures, what are the people like, what do they like to eat, what is their religion, again, a very, very solid source of information.
Let's go
But
back.
there's some bad news too, right, Judy? A couple things, and you've probably never heard of them because the reason they're not included is because they weren't really being used very much. What are those that we know are going away, will not be in this next 5-year collapse?
I know you mentioned after your advisory meeting that the one with, let's go into my slideshow here, that transparent language.
Yeah.
Now, that's not saying there will not be another foreign language type course that takes its place. We don't know yet. Negotiations are obviously still going on. So we do know that transparent language is not going to be there. And another very good Gale product, which was Gale in Context Elementary. It's, we have several, and the reason I think it didn't get a lot of use is the people were already using World Book and
Yeah.
Explora by EBSCO. And so that, and I'll be honest, I think Gale in Context was kind of scary. It was just something that the teachers didn't see as attractive to go into and use. It was very nice. I thought especially the videos and the graphics and things were great. You can see this little picture of their logo, but it just, those are two we know that are going to be removed. Like I said, there may be another foreign language. There always has been in the last say 10, 15 years, but that's something that hasn't been announced yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. So,
and you bring out an important point there. These decisions are made in large part on, are they used, but also what are teachers recommended. So we want to know, and we're going to have a link. If you come to our vlog site, you'll see that information at the end of this vlog today. We want to know, what do you want? What resources do you need in your classroom? Online resources like World Book and Chilton's and so forth. If you're aware of something, if you've seen something, if you've talked to school someplace, or maybe your school is already purchasing something and you'd like to be available free statewide, this is going to be your opportunity to share. We'll make sure that Infohio gets those suggestions as they're looking at additional items to purchase. So these that we just listed, they are not the only items. Bookflix, for example, that's not going away. It's not in the 5-year list, but it's going to stay around. It's going to be here as well because it's got lots of use and teachers are asking for it and recommending it. So we need to know, what are your recommendations? We'll mention this again at the very end of the broadcast. Judy or Tonya, do you want to add anything to that?
Right. I've got a slide toward the end about that. But moving on, because we're running short on time here, Infohio would love to get more reviewers. I know Roger and I are official reviewers of resources of all kinds, free resources of all kinds that teachers can use from every subject area. You can filter the searches. There's thousands of resources, and we need more people reviewing these resources because we know teachers are busy. I know it's a challenge for me to get a resource reviewed, and I need to pick one this week and start reviewing another one.
Now, the good news is
yes,
you'll get some money. It's a
yes,
$2,000 stipend. Oh, you've got the details coming up.
I didn't put the money down, Roger, but I
Okay.
did put that there's a stipend for attendance at a 3-day summer training. So if you are interested, please apply, and we will have links on our vlog website for you to click to find, or you can always write support at Infohio.org, and you can ask for
just look at the end of the blog. We'll have all of these links. But this and Judy and I both are reviewers. If you want to know a little bit more about it, we'll be glad to walk you through. Takes about a half hour per item for me, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little bit less, but it's really fun to get in there. Take a look at a resource, and it's in the content areas that you specify, that you say, hey, this is what I know. I know high school math, or I know elementary reading, or whatever your areas of licensure or expertise are. those are the kind of resources that you'll be asked to review. And again, the fact you can get $2,000, hopefully you'll go on and continue to review many resources that can be shared statewide through this Infohio. And actually, this open space is for everybody. It's not just for Ohio, but it's Infohio's
Right,
resource.
totally.
It's a great
So-
opportunity if you like to review things. Yeah, 3 days in the summer, and you'll get some homework assignments. It'll probably take you around 20 hours, something like that. I think that's about how long it took me to go through all the assignments and to do my first reviews that and it's really a great process.
Right, a lot of support. If you're not sure about it, the training will help you a lot. And after that, all the reviews will be done online at your convenience at home, but you'll get paid for the time you spend doing it. So
Yeah.
going on, we also need more Infohio iCoaches.
Now, you don't get any money for this, but you get a lot of information.
Right, this is a volunteer opportunity, and you can share with parents, students, educators in your school primarily, but if you're asked to give a presentation at another group in the community or whatever, letting people know about it that are parents, grandparents, caregivers to students. So, and it's open to teachers, of course, library media specialists, librarians, and library aides. Certification to teach is not a requirement to be an iCoach. You just need to be an enthusiastic promoter of Infohio resources and get other people to join you. So
well said, Judy. Well said. That's who they're looking for. People that are, enthusiastic about the resources kids can get online for learning through Infohio. And if you are the right person for iCoach. It's all online. You can become an iCoach at any time. There's no specific training period. You don't have to attend any classes in Columbus or anything like that. Again, we'll have the link on how to become an iCoach at our vlog site.
Okay, right. If you're already an enthusiastic promoter of Infohio resources, you could become an iCoach and make even better use of your knowledge. The next one, if you want to do it all, these are the 3 things. And the last one is that, and Roger's already talked about it, we're hoping that we will have a link to the form soon so that you can.
Yep, it's up there, Judy. The link to share information is up there.
Oh,
at our
great.
vlog site.
Okay. Well, here's what she's talking about on our blog site. This is what it looks like on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, what a picture of me. Get off the slide quick.
Well, I think I got my eyes closed here too. But just do a search on YouTube for NWOAT Tech Time, and it will lead you to what episode. And I'm not sure. Notice I put in XX because I wasn't sure what.
Yep, it's this episode. It's the one that you're watching right now.
34.
34. Okay. Well, I will just make a note of that 34. I didn't know at the time I put this slide together, but the place where the links are either on the screen or Tonya always puts them in a little section at the bottom. It doesn't say more information. It's just a little gray section at the end of a YouTube video, and that will have the links to becoming an iCoach, giving suggestions for additional resources to be added to Infohio. And
okay, enough of that slide, Judy. Let him look at us.
okay, and for Roger doesn't want his picture out there again, so there he is again. But it will also have the link if you want to go to Columbus for 3 days this summer and learn how to become a open space reviewer of free resources
and earn $2,000 in the process.
Exactly. So I think that might be worth your time to, make a little money for your information and for your help. So.
Well, Judy, all of that's really awesome. Great information. I think I might apply to be a reviewer. I think that sounds like a wonderful opportunity, just like how I do the Quality Matters stuff, reviewing stuff. It keeps you up to date on things and helps you be a part of wonderful resources to, make sure that their quality going out line for the teachers. Also, the resources that you listed, I'm already composing the emails in my mind. I know who I'm going to send the Gale one with the mechanics. I know who I'm going to send that to. I know who I'm going to send the timeline one to. I'm really excited about the World Book. My boys at their school district are starting their research projects right now. They're second graders. And I think the World Book resources would be wonderful for them to use.
Wouldn't it be exciting if a student did a research project and they included a World Book timeline? And the one really neat thing about that resource is you can take a timeline that already exists and then put in your own additional items in that timeline, or you can start from scratch and make your own timeline.
We'll say, yeah, don't tell them too much, Judy, because they have to watch the one of the upcoming blogs where we'll be highlighting several of the resources, and timeline. I'm believing is one of those that we're going to have a whole vlog on. So
yeah,
okay.
Well, that's the teaser. You gave them a teaser.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went a little bit long today, guys, but it's all right. We'll have the all the resources that Roger and Judy have talked about, including the slideshow. We'll have all of that available on the link that you see on your screen right there. And to get in touch with all of us, all of our contact information will be at the end of this video. And like Roger said, we'll be talking more in detail about these resources on Infohio upcoming episodes. So thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.